Our last presenter, Prerna Sharma.
Hi, my name is Prerna Sharma, and I want to know if this looks familiar to you. You walk into a coffee shop and notice that people are engrossed in their laptops rather than engaging in conversation. This is a scene that is becoming increasingly common in our society today. But we know that humans are social creatures. It has been researched and documented that we need each other to survive. Professor John Cacioppo states that we've survived as a species not because we're fast or strong or have natural weapons in our fingertips, but because of social protection. It is because we depend on each other, because we provide each other with mutual aid and protection that we've made it this far. Yet, most of us have experienced a sense of loneliness at one point or another. I, like many others, have felt lonely at times because of an absence of connection and community. I've lived in New York for 7 years now, and it was only when I moved to Bushwick last summer that I truly felt like I was part of a community that was local and accessible to me. I found a big change in my own sense of belonging since moving to this neighborhood, one that had a successful pre-existing sense of communal life. This happened at the same time as I was grappling with choosing a thesis topic, and it was then that I realized that all this time, I too was longing for belonging. Today, I present to you my thesis, Longing for Belonging, Rediscovering Community in Third Places. Although loneliness on its own is not a medical condition or diagnosis, if we experience a sense of prolonged loneliness, it wears down our resilience and ability to go through life and its challenges. In fact, this phenomenon of isolation has been recognized as an epidemic of loneliness by the Surgeon General of the United States. The adverse effects of this lack of connection are startling, and according to the Surgeon General, lacking social connection increases risk of premature death by more than 60%, to levels equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So if we're social creatures, why are we still lonely? This has to do with the way our towns are built. After World War II, a booming economy and government incentives encouraged people, particularly veterans, to move to the suburbs. Suburbs offered affordable housing, space, and privacy compared to crowded urban areas. This mass migration reflected a desire for better quality of life away from the challenges of city living. But it also resulted in suburban sprawl and an inescapable reliance on cars. There are currently 8 parking spaces for every car in this country. Instead of showcasing history, culture, or community areas, today downtowns across America are tributes to parking. These spaces can be repurposed as third places that would in turn help our communities thrive. Third place is a term that was coined by sociologist Ray Oldenburg, who defines it as locations where people spend time between home, which is the first place, and work, which is the second place. These are places where we exchange ideas, have a good time, and build relationships. Some examples include parks, bars, cafes, and churches, spaces where we can simply be without the pressure of productivity. This may sound quaint to us today, but Oldenburg uses the example of a mailroom to illustrate a third place, a place where everyone in the neighborhood would come together to collect their mail, an equalizer of sorts. Some cultures are better at recognizing this need for connection than others. Such as in Germany, there's a term for this phenomenon, Stammtisch, which is an informal group meeting held regularly around a large round table. It's not a structured meeting, but rather a friendly get-together, a true embodiment of the essence of third places. The decline of third places in modern-day society has proven to cause adverse effects on community interconnectedness, and these effects are extending to all areas of life. So what do we do about it? To address these adverse impacts, there's an opportunity to design and create moments of connection among strangers and community members in and to third spaces. Initially, I approached the problem holistically, believing that designing new third places and their architecture could offer solutions. To explore this concept, I developed prototypes of modular public seating structures that enable users to rearrange and activate the space as needed. Moreover, to confront the issue of hostile architecture in public spaces designed to deter lingering, I created a brief conversation, a compact seat that folds out of a briefcase for when you're on the go. Ideal for any occasion, whether it's a first date, a picnic, or even a business meeting, a brief conversation has you covered. Let's take a look. I also hosted a co-creation session where 5 participants from different backgrounds and occupations worked together to answer the question of how can design support non-productive socializing as third places vanish and the remaining ones prioritize productivity. They shared their thoughts and recollected stories and moments where they truly felt a sense of belonging with their community. This process shifted my perspective. Rather than designing new places, I saw an opportunity to cultivate meaningful connections within existing ones. Throughout this thesis, I draw inspiration from the Surgeon General's advisory on the healing effects of social connection and community, which outlines 6 foundational pillars, which are strengthening social infrastructure, enacting pro-connection public policies, mobilizing the health sector, reforming digital environments, deepening our knowledge, and cultivating a culture of connection. My work strives to address these pillars through different avenues, from facilitating casual interactions to creating tools for group engagement. I address pillars 4 and 6 through COOP. COOP is a community interaction point designed for pre-existing third places that encourages people to pause and express gratitude through thoughtful prompts. Users are encouraged to take a note and leave one, creating a low-stakes process that helps people reflect on how their community enriches their lives. And it looks something like this. Tina is browsing the local boutique store and she notices a COOP box. She asks the shop clerk how to use it and he explains it's actually quite simple. Tina engages by leaving a note based on the prompt of the day. Today's prompt is, what's your favorite secret spot in the neighborhood? She shares hers and picks up another note, leading her to discover a new garden in the area. Tina visits the garden and strikes up a conversation with the neighbor, forging a new connection. Coop offers ready-to-assemble kits for an easy setup or downloadable files to DIY. Additionally, the design can be custom-made to represent your neighborhood. The prompts are changed weekly by the store owners, and some examples include, what's your go-to dish at the local restaurant, got a green thumb, share your gardening tips, or favorite plants. Coop also maintains a newsletter and social media presence, spotlighting positive interactions for the community to see. As I conducted research, I discovered the importance of sustained continuous interactions in building relationships. This concept led me to explore the idea of public characters, a term coined by journalist and activist Jane Jacobs. She defines public characters as individuals who engage frequently with a wide circle of people, making themselves known within their communities. Reflecting on the public characters in my own life, such as the pigeon man in the park and the guys at the bagel store, I envisioned Neighbor. Neighbor is a community-centric app designed to strengthen connections among neighbors. The app starts by asking the user to create a personalized character profile that best represents them. Upon creating an account, users select their interests, write a bio, and specify their location. Users can explore recommended events nearby and see other attendees' profiles. The app shows compatibility percentages and allows users to chat if they are attending the same event. During the event, Neighbor encourages users to be present and in the moment by sending a push notification to turn on Do Not Disturb mode. A meter illustrates users' impact on their neighborhood and community via the time spent interacting in person. Neighbor is committed to harnessing technology to bolster real-world connections that enrich local community. Over the past year, I immersed myself in a dedicated yoga practice and experienced firsthand its profound benefits on both my mental and physical well-being. Coincidentally, my research shed light on the pivotal role of team sports and group workouts in nurturing bonds and trust among participants. While group exercise courses do exist, these are often done simply in the proximity of others and not actively engaging with them. Currently, most dedicated workout equipment is geared towards individual practice, and there are no products in the market that exist for communal exercise. This realization inspired Align, a health and wellness brand aimed at bridging this gap and addressing pillars 3 and 6 of the Surgeon General's advisory. Specializing in communal workout equipment tailored for shared yoga experiences, Align empowers people to strengthen connections and build trust through synchronized practice. Let's see it in action.
Align is on a mission to cultivate harmonious relationships while enhancing physical and mental well-being, ensuring that every moment of alignment brings a greater balance to both body and soul.
And finally, I embarked on the culmination of my thesis journey, driven by the core purpose that led me to this topic, to rediscover community through third places. This took shape through my event series titled People and Places. The aim of People and Places was to unite young artists, designers, and creatives in a spontaneous collaborative art project. The vision for the event was to cultivate an energetic, playful, and connective atmosphere. It comprised of two activities. First, a communal art piece created through a blind drawing exercise, and second, an exploration of the question, what does community mean to you? Here's how it went. The event was a great success, and participants stated that they really enjoyed meeting new people through this. The blind drawing activity, although a bit nerve-wracking at first, served as a clever icebreaker that encouraged eye contact and conversation. Throughout this past year, my thesis journey has taken unexpected turns, with the most enlightening moments arising from chance encounters within my community. These encounters often led to spontaneous interviews with experts from diverse fields and professions, including a DJ, a pastor, store owners, and city officials. One interview in particular stands out. An interviewee candidly shared the details of a very challenging situation that was occurring in their life. Their openness to me, a stranger, was surprising and deeply moving. Amidst their own hardships, they generously shared their valuable time, insights, and perspectives. As the interview came to an end, I asked why they chose to help out a random graduate student amidst their own struggles, and they simply replied, "Well, at least I can say I lived for an art day." And in that moment, I realized the profound impact of human connection and the significance of community amidst life's trial. Thank you.
That last quote was very moving. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Alan.
So, as you know, I'm completely in love with a brief conversation, the valise or the briefcase that turns into a seat. And I have joked that it looks like he was signing divorce papers. She got her way. I wish all meetings were this quick. Did you envision, or did he know what he was doing, the actor?
Well, he signed the paper. He should have read what he was signing.
That's great. It's interesting. I was thinking through your presentation, through the day, was there enough AI? Was there too much AI? Was there enough community? Was there too much community? And I know that you were sharing this very personal story about not feeling like you had belonged or belonged somewhere until you moved into a neighborhood and really felt that. And I can imagine that was a propulsive force for the thesis.
Oh, definitely. It was great timing because it happened in the summer and we had to choose our thesis topics in the summer. And I was like, this is a problem in my life. This is a selfish topic. It worked out to be a great thesis. And I did find my community through this.
Beautiful. First, maybe advice for the first years. Advice for other people who are trying to find community in their neighborhoods. Yeah.
I think I found that most people are really nice and you just have to ask. You have to be the first person to say hi, to have a smile, and to be open for connection, and it will come and find you.
That's great. Will you help me review the second half subjects? So, uniting and strengthening South Indians,
hacking public space,
enhancing independent thought,
designing for cognitive resilience,
esports players.
navigating layers of self,
Oh, you should read this one.
and rediscovering community through third places.
It's great.